Okay, let's get this going. So welcome to GoScope. This is a webinar as an introduction to a next-gen microscope system. I'm Jennifer Cole, and this is Chris Kuzmic. I am CEO of X-Biomedical, and Chris is the head of marketing and sales. We're very excited to bring GoScope to you, and we will leave some time at the end for Q&A. To start, I have a very short presentation that I will share my screen to give you all a background on how we started and the journey so far. So GoScope is very different. It's not only an exoscope where you're removed from the oculars of the microscope, but it also is all digital, and it's using latest technology such as Smartglasses and digital cameras. X-Biomedical is actually a spin-out of the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, and in the research and development labs there, they set out on a quest to help address pediatric blindness, mostly in developing nations, as well as rural areas of the US, because standard status quo microscopes are very large, very expensive, they're not mobile, and fragile. So they started from scratch and said, if we're going to build a high-powered, high-magnification microscope that's portable and affordable for health equity reasons, how can we do that? There are 5 billion people that don't have access to safe surgery around the world, and that actually includes a high significance of dental clinicians that are needed as well. We are funded and backed by the Department of Defense, the National Institute of Health, and others that also have a need for portability and also the ability to communicate back to other practitioners when a consultation is needed. Here is a
presenting GoScope, a revolutionary surgical microscope system. By X-Biomedical, a health equity spin-out of the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia.
This is like really clear. I can see all the defects in our simulated eye. But this really does mirror my Zeiss surgical scope.
It's a very high quality of image. Since the depth is adjustable, it's really helpful. And the stereo vision is quite impressive. Yeah, I'm more relaxed because my field of vision is stable. Even a slight movement in my head will not affect my field, my surgical field, which makes it very comfortable.
GoScope is the future of training. Drawings on the tablet will display in the surgeon's glasses.
Yeah, the training inside, nothing will come close to that. And it's just think about when you're doing surgery on cases. It's kind of like you follow this.
A scope zoom 80 is killer. Obviously, this is tremendous as opposed to, I mean, my body hurts a lot.
GoScope is accessible microscopy for everyone.
So GoScope is a system. It's an ecosystem, and it has many components to it. The first thing that you've already heard talked about is that it's complete ergonomic freedom. Because you're not connected or tethered to the oculars and the microscope itself, it allows you to move your head, neck, and spine in any position that's comfortable for the practitioner and never lose the 3D, very large image that follows your eyes. And we'll go into that a little bit later. It's also built on an edge computing platform. And because of that, we can integrate a lot of the AR and AI features that are prevalent in today's computer and electronics world. So voice control, continuous zoom, video recording, just to name a few. And then from a collaboration perspective, we've integrated the entire operatory by having accessories that allow for the image in real time to be streamed to any monitor, to a tablet, multiple 3D glasses, and a really immersive experience. This recording doesn't have voice to it, and I wanted to show you this because it's an endodontic treatment, and it shows the clarity of GoScope and the magnification. So when you take a look at this image, you can see all the way down to the apex. In addition to that, you can use a mirror just as easily as you can use a mirror on a status quo microscope, but we'll show you in a little bit how you can also use direct vision. I'll just let this play out. You can notice in the upper right-hand corner that this recording is ongoing. The zoom level is 72% out of 100, and the lights are up full. Okay. We did a lot of work with Thomas Jefferson University and their Einstein dental program, in addition to ensuring that its usability was where it needed to be. This is an example of Telestration. This is with a study we did for cataract surgery, but the principles remain the same from a dental perspective.
Always come to the center whenever you get a perfect tear. Okay, now come towards in a little bit. Tear down because it's starting to go out. Good. Okay, now once you see that it's saved already, we grab here.
So focus at the bottom, right? Nope, focus is the top.
You want to grab at the edge around here.
Those two little white dots in the center are the Purkinje reflexes from the
You can,
surface of the
so that you
cornea
can see
and
where the
middle
edge is.
cornea.
So you can see in the picture, the scope head. Will be showing you this after this presentation as well. The GoGlasses.
Got it? Okay. Okay.
But when I see the
Then
students
come round.
wanting to look, they do it. Your eyes are always in the microscope. You can look down.
Okay, now you're gonna
Going
go
into
up
the
a little bit
this hole, but you're
to
gonna be
tear it
going
out.
perpendicular. This is showing you that the thickest
Go up
area
this
of
way.
depth
Yeah.
is going to be in the center because this is a dome shape.
Awesome. Awesome. Bravo.
Lucas Capsulorexis. You have to hold this.
So what's interesting and different about this is that the practitioner sees the annotations directly in their glasses. When the study was done, we showed that GoScope was a faster learning tool in some cases than the status quo microscope with a practitioner or teacher leaning over the shoulder. It's really helpful that the immersiveness of being able to see exactly what's going on in the surgical field is very powerful and allows the communication to flow throughout. So these are some dental professionals that we've been working with and that have been using GoScope. This is Dr. Glassman on the far left. He is talking about the fact that voice recording allows him to keep his hands in the field, and that the flexible positioning of GoScope, which we'll show you, allows you to do direct vision. Dr. St. Cyr, the second in the picture, has been wanting to have the ergonomic freedom as well as the high resolution and high magnification that GoScope offers. In the third picture, we have Telestration in action, which is the example we were just showing you. So in the background, you see the faculty member, Dr. Barnett, and he is writing on a wireless tablet, which the resident is seeing the image in the glasses. And then this is Dr. Gilbert on the end here.
Hey Chris, I'm working inside the tooth, even though I'm looking over here. So I think one of the keys for depth of field into the chamber is the focal distance. GoScope zoom 60. Yeah, that looks really good. GoScope lights up to 70.
And that is the end of our presentation deck. I encourage you to scan the card, the QR code on the screen to share your contact information. And for participants of today's webinar, we will have special pricing that Chris will review. Okay, so now I'm going to hand it over to Chris, and Chris is going to show you some basic operations of GoScope. To set the stage, we are not in an operatory, as you could probably guess, and so, you know, the lighting is not exactly conducive, but what you'll be able to see, even through the webinar, is the projected image of what Chris is going to be seeing in his glasses. And the Go Player accessory that we have that's powering this can be attached to any monitor or computer, etc., that has an HDMI connection. So Chris, if you would explain the components of GoScope.
Sure. Yeah, welcome everybody. Really appreciate you guys everybody taking time on a Tuesday night to join us to help us launch GoScope into the market. First and foremost, you'll see here our 3D glasses. So as the practitioner or clinician, you'll be wearing the glasses. And within the glasses, you get a direct vision from whatever the cameras are pointing at. And with some simple voice commands, and the reason why we have some voice commands is so we can have an uninterrupted workflow. Our hands remain on the patient in the surgical site. Before I get into some of the commands, anything you can do with a voice command, you can do on our tablet. So that has a control panel. So you can control the zoom, the lights, the screenshots, the recording as well as along with Telestration. So we'll get right into it real quick. So with some simple voice commands, and just like Alexa or Siri, the wake word for us is the name of the product. It's GoScope. You'll say the name and then followed with a command. So very simply, GoScope, GoScope, lights off.
LED brightness set to 0.
GoScope, lights 40.
LED brightness set to 40.
GoScope, zoom 25.
Zoom level set to 25.
GoScope, zoom 50.
Zoom level set to 50.
GoScope, screenshot.
Screenshot taken.
GoScope, start recording.
Video recording started.
GoScope, stop recording.
Video recording stopped.
So it's as simple as that. to operate GoScope, basically hands-free. You heard me mention GoScope zoom into a certain level. The magnification range on our device is 2 to 18x. So in order to get to the exact magnification level, you would say GoScope zoom to a certain level, 0 to 100, which is basically a percentage of 18x. You can also say GoScope start zoom in or start zoom out. That is a continuous zoom in either direction until you tell it to stop. Or GoScope zoom in, zoom out in increments of 5 in either direction. Again, anything you can do by voice, you can do with the tablet. So you also have a live stream. So for your assistant, who can sit chairside, who's sitting chairside, will have a 2D view of exactly what you're seeing in the glasses as well. And then, as Jen mentioned, you may see up on the screen, we have what's called Go Player. That is basically an HDMI connection to any screen in the operatory where you can then cast exactly, great for patient education.
And here is Telestration as an example for those educational institutions, or even if you want to do case review and you want to make notes on your video, you can choose the parameters as well as just draw right on the screen, right on the tablet. And then you'll notice that it also appears in everywhere that this image is being displayed. Also, if you're working with somebody and teaching them and you need to speak with them, we have some fast buttons such as the one you're seeing right now. Okay, so just to answer a couple of other questions that have already come in, we do have the filtered lights here that come along with the system. And Chris, I think you are going to explain the flexibility of the positioning.
Yeah, so one of the questions that came in was how to achieve direct vision. You know, to free up a hand and not have to use a mirror is a great thing, as Dr. Glassman noted in his testimonial. So by pressing down on one or both of the black buttons on the scope head, that releases the magnetic brake. And then the scope head itself is fully articulating so that we can reorient the scope head up in at the anterior maxilla so that we'd be able to work with a direct vision into that area. So again, the magnetic brake with release is the black buttons, one or both. It does the same thing. And then the scope head can move in any direction. So not only direct vision, but unlike traditional microscopes where you are locked into the oculars, you know, this, you can also get the patient into a very comfortable position because we can reorient the scope head in any direction.
We've been asked a lot what the resolution is. The resolution in the Smartglasses is 2.5K, and it's pretty indistinguishable between what 2.5K and 4K is, primarily because of the sensors we're using and the level of accuracy in these glasses. Finally, I think we did get a question about, from this meeting right now, we got a question about educational institutions. So we are working with, as we mentioned, Einstein, but there are a half dozen other institutions that are interested in integrating GoScope into the curriculum, specifically because it allows for the practitioners to be immersed and not have to bend over and hover above the surgical field. Everyone asks about the price.
Sure,
so,
yes they do.
So Chris, I'll turn it over to you.
This, like we mentioned, this is our launch, and we do have some launch specials. But more specifically, what we've designed is and again, this is coming from years of experience in the dental field, where I see a lot of clinicians who buy equipment, and then no short order, 6 months, a year, the next version comes out. And so what we wanted to do is have this product grow with your practice. We know that this technology, I mean, we're just scratching the surface with it, and we want to be able to, you know, when we develop new technology in it or another iteration, we want to be able to offer that to our customers basically almost free of charge. So what we've designed is a rental program, and that rental program allows you to get into GoScope for a low monthly price. It is a 3-year term, but we have a 2-year upgrade. So when we do launch a new version of it, I'll come to you and say, hey, this is the latest version of GoScope, you know, and we would basically swap out the device itself for the newest version. And so, just like anything else that you may rent in life, included is the warranty and service. So you only have 1 monthly payment to around the rental. So. And the monthly for our launch is $645 a month. As Chris mentioned, it's 3-year term. And for participating in this webinar, it will be 1 month free. So $645 for 35 months. And I just want to reiterate what Chris was saying, that technology changes so rapidly now. And like your smartphone, you know, 2 years into it, you're ready to upgrade to get the latest features and functionality. So the concept is the same here. As we come out with software updates and more features, that will be passed on to our customers, and you don't have to worry about upgrading or coming up with new payments or higher payments. So I think that's our overview for tonight. It is, yep.
And now love to turn it over to those of you on the phone in case you have any specific questions that we haven't answered yet. Okay, you should be able to unmute now if there are any questions. I see a few coming through in the chat.
How much does the microscope weigh?
Okay. So there are 3 main components to GoScope. One is the scope head that houses what you can consider the microscope itself, and some electronics. We have a router which allows this whole system to be a closed Wi-Fi network. So we don't have to integrate into your practice's network. And then finally, a base box, which houses our very powerful computer system. And then multiple different types of arms and stands. So the total weight is less than 25 pounds. And an example is this scope head itself is less than 3 pounds. It's 2.3. So it's very mobile, and it's on wheels. You can certainly move it room to room if you have multiple rooms in your operatory. And it's also the type of system that anybody in your office can use it. It's not limited to one particular user. So it can be shared. Let's see if we have any other questions coming in.
So let me just touch on the Wi-Fi for a minute. So with our router, it is a self-contained Wi-Fi system, and that's what allows the tablet to connect as well as the Go player to connect to the device itself. So we don't have to worry about any other Bluetooth interference that's in the office or additional Wi-Fi interference in the office. But all that said, though, we can connect, if you were to connect to an Ethernet cable to the router itself from your office network, we would be able to remote in and push any software updates necessary.
Yep. A couple of more. What is the training like to implement GoScope? How long does training take? So we have lots of user data that shows, in fact, we just were with a KOL yesterday who was saying that it's actually much easier to learn GoScope than it is a standard microscope. So with a status quo microscope, it's about 3 weeks that they have training. And for GoScope, we've had practitioners get used to it within 20 minutes. And we do have a process of training where, you start with just the basics, and then you go to models, and then you graduate toward different procedures, the low risk ones to higher. But I think you'll agree that people have been picking this up really quickly.
Yeah, and we can systematically go through a couple cases and almost work backwards. So like, let's use root canal therapy for an example, where I would suggest using GoScope for the final irrigation on a case, and then final irrigation and obturation, and then instrumentation, final irrigation, obturation, and then finally access all the way through obturation. And that will give us a good foundation to be able to continue to move towards, doing endodontic surgery or other procedures.
And some of the videos that you saw here tonight actually were performed after a half a day of training, and the practitioners felt very, very comfortable with performing the endodontic treatment that you saw tonight. Next question, is this available outside the US? Currently, it is FDA listed for US sales only, in a broad category of all general surgery and subspecialties. And so we are in hospitals as well as dental practices and universities and dental programs. All right, it's 8:29. We were aiming for about 30 minutes for a webinar. Let's see if anybody has any last minute questions, toss them in the chat and we can get back to you afterwards. But I encourage you to scan. I can put it up one more time.
Yep. And if we could ask, we'd be remiss if we didn't. Follow us on all the socials. Go look us up on LinkedIn and Instagram.
Yeah, so I'm just going to put up the last slide that has the contact information. Here we go. So play from the current slide. And again, if you can scan the QR code with your smartphones, it will go directly to us as a contact, and then we'll be able to reach out to you. We'll also know if you do scan that you were at this webinar and entitled to the
Promotional discount.
So thank you so much. We are excited to be launching this and really appreciative that you shared your evening with us.
Yep. Thank you, everybody.
Have a good night.